Peace to your heart tonight. Welcome to Gentle Night, a quiet corner of the world just for you. You know, there are some books that don't just pass through your hands, they pass through your soul. They settle somewhere deep like rain, sinking slowly into the soil. The 40 Rules of Love is one of those books for me. I've read it so many times, I've lost count. I've cried with it, healed with it, fallen asleep to its voice in the night. And yet, every time I return to it, it feels new, like the first sip of tea in silence, like remembering something I didn't know I'd forgotten. I want to tell you about it, not like a teacher or a reviewer, but like a friend. Imagine we're sitting together, you and I curled up on cushions, the city quiet, a candle flickering on the table, and I'm telling you the story, not just the events of it, but the feeling of it, the way it held my hand when I couldn't hold my own. It's not a single story really, it's two stories braided like a prayer. One is about Ella, a woman like so many of us, living a quiet, safe, well-planned life. 3 children, a husband, a house. Everything looks right from the outside. But inside is quiet. Too quiet. Not the peaceful kind, more like silence that aches. The kind of silence that comes when you've stopped listening to your own soul. Ella is a reader, or maybe she was, but she takes a job reviewing manuscripts for a literary agency. And one day, a book lands in her hands. It's called Sweet Blasphemy, written by a man named Aziz Zahra. And it tells the story of Rumi and Shams. Now, pause there, because this is where the book begins to unfold its magic. As Ella reads about Rumi, the respected scholar, the well-loved teacher, and Shams of Tabriz, the wild dervish with eyes full of fire, something starts to shift inside her. You see the story inside the story. Rumi's story isn't just historical, it's spiritual, emotional, deeply human. Shams is not what anyone expects. He doesn't follow rules. He doesn't bow to titles. He doesn't care about appearances. He's raw, honest, and completely uninterested in being liked. But what he does care about is love, not the love we see in movies, not the fragile kind that comes and goes, but divine love, that wild, uncontrollable, sacred love that burns everything falls away. When Shams meets Rumi, something explosive happens. Rumi, the calm, rational scholar, is shaken and slowly, painfully, beautifully transformed. Shams turns his world upside down. He challenges him, provokes him, breaks him open, and what emerges is not just a better man, but a poet, a mystic, a lover of God. The Rumi we know today, the one whose words touch hearts in every language, was born through the fire of his love for Shams. And as Ella reads this, as she feels their story unfold, she begins to feel something stirring inside her too. She starts writing to Aziz, the author, just short emails at first, safe, polite, professional, but Aziz doesn't respond in the way she expects. He responds from the heart. And soon their emails become something more. They talk about love, about God, about fear, about truth. And through these conversations, Ella begins to see her own life differently. She begins to ask herself questions she's never dared to ask before. Do I love the life I've built? Do I even know who I am? What is real love? And have I ever tasted it? The more she reads, the more she writes, the more she lets herself feel, the more the walls begin to crack. And through those cracks, light enters. But the story doesn't stay in Ella's world. The manuscript she's reading takes us deep into 13th century Konya, into the streets and gardens and silence of that ancient place. We meet so many voices there. A beggar, a prostitute, a drunk, a jealous son, a loyal student, a bitter cleric, all of them touched in one way or another by the presence of Shams and the power of love. Each chapter carries one of the 40 rules. These aren't laws or doctrines, they're like drops of truth, software clear, sometimes sweet, sometimes painful, like the rule that says, try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you, or the one that reminds us. God is not someone outside of you. He is not a figure on a throne. God is right here, in your breath, in your tears, in your longing. And the rule that always breaks me: the path to truth is a labor of the heart, not the head. These rules don't demand obedience. They invite reflection. They're like soft lanterns in the night. And as Ella walks with them, she begins to walk away from her old life. It's not a dramatic escape. It's not a betrayal. It's a return to her own heart. She eventually meets Aziz in person, and what she finds is not a perfect man, but a true one, someone who, like Shams, lives from the heart, who is not afraid of silence, who sees love as a mirror to the divine. And she falls in love, not just with him, but with life, with herself. But this is not a fairy tale. Aziz is dying. He has a heart condition and he doesn't have long. He tells her this with honesty, no drama, no manipulation. And Ella must choose. Will she stay in the safety of her marriage or follow this love that might end in grief? She chooses love, even if it's short, even if it hurts, because by now she knows it's not how long something lasts that makes it sacred. It's how true it is. And that's what this book teaches over and over again that love is not about holding, it's about becoming, that God is not found in distance, but in closeness, in the breath, the silence, the ache, that transformation is not always gentle. Sometimes it burns, but what it leaves behind is gold. The 40 Rules of Love is more than a novel. It's a spiritual awakening wrapped in a story. It's a reminder that the divine is not in the sky, but in the way you pour tea, the way you wait for someone, the way you forgive, the way you fall apart and rebuild again. When I read this book, I feel like I'm remembering something ancient, something already written inside me. And maybe you will too. Maybe you already have. I don't know where you are in your life right now. Maybe you're like Ella, comfortable but numb. Maybe you're like Rumi, respected but restless. Or maybe somewhere inside you, Shams is already stirring, knocking, asking you to wake up. Whatever the case, let this story find you. Let it walk beside you. Let it burn a little, heal a little, sing a little. And if it does, if it gives you even one breath of softness, one drop of truth, then I've done what I came here to do. Thank you for listening to this whisper. If it touched you, if you felt held, if it brought you even a little closer to your own heart, please support Gentle Night.